Kate and I have been best friends since middle school. We share everything, or so I thought. Then there's Jake, my fiancé, a quiet and introverted guy whom I met in college. He's the opposite of me in many ways, and that's what I find endearing about him. Our engagement a few months ago marked the start of what should have been an exciting chapter in our lives together. However, things took an unexpected turn when Jake and Kate started bonding over their shared love for a TV show. They began having watch parties at our home, exchanging texts about the latest episodes. At first, I didn't think much of it. After all, Jake doesn't have many friends, especially female ones, and Kate is like a sister to me. Yet there was a nagging feeling in the back of my mind, fueled by Kate's history. Last year, she had an affair with a married coworker that lasted for 8 tumultuous months. She was upfront about it with me, confessing to feeling deeply for him, despite knowing he was married. Eventually, guilt and frustration led her to end it, but not before it caused considerable turmoil in her life. She quit her job and moved on, but the experience left its mark. Now, seeing Jake and Kate grow closer, I couldn't shake off my insecurities. I started noticing subtle changes in their behavior, secretive glances, inside jokes, and more frequent texting. I didn't want to jump to conclusions or confront them outright, afraid of sounding paranoid or driving a wedge between us. In a moment of desperation and irrationality, I came up with a reckless plan. I stumbled upon an advertisement for a pregnancy test while scrolling through my phone, and an idea formed. What if I pretended to be pregnant to see how Jake and Kate would react? It seemed like a terrible idea, but in my state of mind it felt like the only way to uncover the truth without directly confronting them. The next day I invited Kate over under the pretense of sharing some exciting news. With Jake by my side, I nervously announced my pregnancy, watching their reactions like a hawk. Jake's face lit up with genuine joy and surprise. He hugged me tightly, expressing his happiness and excitement for our future. For a moment, all my doubts melted away. But Kate's reaction shattered that fleeting sense of relief. She congratulated me with a forced smile that quickly dissolved into tears. Sobbing uncontrollably, she confessed that she had just received the results of a fertility test. She was infertile. The tears weren't just about my news, they were about her own private turmoil. She explained that she had been seeing someone secretly, someone I knew from college but hadn't been in touch with for years. They reconnected through a dating app, and despite my disapproval of him in the past, she had kept it hidden from me at his request. He had mentioned wanting children someday, prompting her to get tested as she had never experienced a pregnancy scare. Discovering her infertility was a devastating blow, one that she hadn't yet processed. I was stunned into silence, guilt flooding through me like a tidal wave. My misguided attempt to uncover the truth had inflicted deeper wounds than I could have imagined. Kate left shortly after, needing time alone to process everything. Jake was equally shocked and disappointed in my actions. He reassured me that I should have trusted him and Kate enough to communicate openly, rather than resorting to such drastic measures. In the days that followed, I couldn't shake off the weight of what I had done. I confided in Jake, who gently urged me to apologize and be honest with Kate. He forgave me, but the rift between Kate and me felt insurmountable. How could I undo the hurt I had caused? How could I make amends for my thoughtless actions? I reached out to Kate several times, but she needed space and time to heal. I respected her wishes, knowing that my presence would only reopen wounds. I wrote her a heartfelt letter, pouring out my regret and apologizing for betraying her trust. I acknowledged that my insecurities had clouded my judgment, and I vowed to learn from this painful experience. Weeks passed without any word from Kate. I was haunted by the fear that I had irreparably damaged our friendship. Finally, one evening she called me. Her voice was calm, but I could sense the lingering hurt beneath the surface. She thanked me for the letter, acknowledging my apology. She explained that she needed time to come to terms with everything, especially her own feelings of betrayal and loss. We talked for hours that night, laying bare our emotions and fears. Kate forgave me, but she admitted that our friendship had been deeply wounded. She needed reassurance that I valued her, and would never again let my doubts jeopardize our bond. I promised her that I had learned my lesson, that communication, trust, and honesty were the cornerstones of any relationship, especially one as precious as ours. Slowly, over time, our friendship began to heal. It wasn't easy, and there were moments of awkwardness and lingering doubt. But we were determined to rebuild what we had lost, stronger and wiser than before. Kate eventually introduced me to her new partner, someone who respected her and shared her dreams for the future. Seeing her happy and moving forward gave me hope that our friendship could withstand even the darkest moments. Reflecting on that tumultuous time, I'm grateful for the lessons learned. I've grown more secure in myself and my relationships, understanding that trust is fragile and easily broken. Jake and I are now married, our bond strengthened by the challenges we faced together. And Kate remains my closest friend, a reminder of the enduring power of forgiveness and redemption. Don't believe I'm entirely to blame for what happened. How could I have known what she was going through? And now, telling her the truth is proving to be one of the hardest things I've ever faced. Since the day she revealed everything, she's grown distant, ignoring my texts for days. It feels like she's taking this too personally. If our roles were reversed and I were pregnant, her reaction would have deeply hurt me. In her mind, I'm expecting, yet she continues to give me the cold shoulder instead of celebrating with me. Even though it's all fictitious, it still stings. Confessing a fake pregnancy to my best friend and fiancé was a desperate attempt to gauge their reactions and uncover any affair. Reflecting on it now, after reading through the comments on my original post, I'm overwhelmed with shame. I always knew my actions were juvenile, but the extent of my folly only hit me when I saw others' reactions. Jake, my fiancé, was surprisingly understanding. I doubt many others would have forgiven me so readily. His love and understanding spared me from more severe consequences. Leading him to believe we were expecting simply because I felt insecure was unforgivable. And what I did to Kate was equally unjust. Jake reassured me that his relationship with Kate never crossed the line beyond friendship, occasional online chats notwithstanding. Kate isn't without her flaws, but I had no right to treat her as I did. I see that clearly now and have since apologized to her. Sending Kate an email instead of confronting her in person was the coward's way out. But I did it an hour ago. So far, there's been no response. Jake thinks she'll eventually forgive me, but I'm not so sure. She seemed deeply affected by the whole pregnancy deception. Some of you were curious about Kate's current boyfriend and our altercation. Here's the backstory. Travis, her current partner, and I were college friends until a fallout over his association with a girl known for spreading malicious rumors. When she realized Travis and I were close, she launched a smear campaign against me. Travis sided with her, which severed our friendship. I've lost touch with Travis since then, so I can't say how he's changed. Perhaps he's matured, but my past experience with him would caution Kate against him. While I can't control her choices such as her ill-advised affair with a married coworker, I do try to steer her away from disastrous relationships whenever I can. Update. Kate finally replied, and we met over coffee this evening. Despite my nerves, she greeted me warmly. It's been nearly 2 weeks since my false announcement, and while Jake has largely forgotten about it, I haven't. Neither has Kate. We hugged immediately, each of us knowing what the other was sorry for without having to say it aloud. Kate chose a coffee shop to spare Jake any awkwardness. He's not the best with emotional situations, and it was thoughtful of her to consider his feelings. She ended things with Travis because he insisted on keeping their relationship a secret not just from me, but from everyone. Initially, she hadn't disclosed the duration of their relationship, but tonight I learned it's been nearly a year. Surprisingly, it wasn't Travis who broached the subject of marriage and children, it was Kate. My upcoming wedding prompted her to evaluate their relationship's future. Travis desired those milestones eventually but preferred to keep things under wraps for now. Kate, believing she'd found a partner who shared her aspirations but wanted a low-profile start, agreed to wait. She took the initiative to get tested, given her history of irregular cycles and no prior pregnancy scares. The test results were a game-changer. Her disappointment wasn't just about infertility, it was also about their abrupt breakup. After almost a year together, she felt it was time to go public, but Travis hesitated. He cited my interference as a reason, claiming he didn't want me meddling in their relationship. Kate stood firm, but their conversation ended poorly. Despite their 8-month relationship, Travis opted to end things rather than go public, a decision that struck me as odd. I suspected infidelity but kept it to myself, knowing Kate didn't need more drama. If the relationship was ending anyway, there was no need for me to add fuel to the fire and make her feel worse about herself. She had been feeling very low for the past few days, mostly due to her own infertility issues, and then the breakup added to her misery. After that email, she felt better knowing she wouldn't have to deal with a pregnancy around her while she was struggling with her own emotions. We talked about Jake too, and she echoed what Jake had told me: they were just friends, nothing more. Both of them valued me too much to risk jeopardizing our relationship. It was emotional, and we got teary-eyed talking about these things because we've been friends for so long. Sometimes we forget we're not the same girls from high school. I'm really happy she broke up with Travis, because if he was still keeping their relationship a secret, he didn't deserve Kate. Kate deserved better than someone who led her on without any promise for their future. It was ridiculous of him to use me as an excuse not to go public with their relationship. Had he not done that, I might have reconsidered my opinion of him. But this only reinforced my belief that he was not ready to commit to her, and was using me as an excuse. Hypothetically, if Kate had told me about Travis, I would have been right to ask her to leave him. He was as troublesome as they come. Update 3. Hey everyone, unfortunately I was right about Travis. He had been cheating, which is why he wasn't ready to go public with their relationship. Just a couple of days ago he posted a picture with another woman, celebrating their 3 months together. But Kate and Travis had broken up just a few weeks before that. Kate is devastated because he's already blocked her, and she had to find out through someone else. She came over last night, a mess, sobbing like a baby, and reeking of cheap wine. Jake and I made her dinner and let her sleep on our couch. It was hard to watch because I felt like I could have prevented this if I had talked to her about her odd behavior earlier, and made her tell me the truth. Then she would have told me who she was seeing, and I could have nipped their relationship in the bud. But I was too caught up in my own head to think about anyone else. I know this isn't my fault, but it still feels like it is. I can't help feeling terrible about Kate's emotional state, because she's really upset about how this turned out. She said she never saw it coming, which I believe, because she always refuses to see red flags until it's too late. She pretends her partners are soulmates and ignores all their toxicity until they prove they're bad for her. Kate has always been this way, even in high school. She's never known what's good for her or who's good for her. That's why I've always been protective of her. But some lessons people have to learn for themselves, and I guess this was one of those lessons. I remember back in high school, Kate had this boyfriend who everyone knew was bad news. He was always getting into trouble, skipping classes, and generally being a bad influence. But Kate was smitten with him, convinced he was misunderstood, and that their love would conquer all. It didn't take long for him to break her heart, but even then she didn't learn her lesson. She jumped from one bad relationship to another, always seeing the best in these guys, and never recognizing the red flags. It was frustrating to watch, but I knew there was only so much I could do. I couldn't live her life for her, and as much as I wanted to protect her, I had to let her make her own mistakes. Update 4. Hi folks, the wedding is just a month away, making me realize how many weeks have passed since I last posted an update. Jake and I are as happy as ever, and Kate's been making better decisions. She started therapy and has sworn off men for a while. She'd never been single for long in the past few years, jumping from one relationship to another without giving herself time to heal. Despite my advice, she'd constantly end up in awful situations with terrible men. She met a few good men, but those relationships never lasted long. It was a whole thing, but I'm glad she's doing better now. The only sad thing is that she's decided to step down as my maid of honor because it's too much for her to handle right now. I understand and respect her decision, but I won't lie. I was very disappointed when she stepped down. Don't get me wrong, I want her to put herself first, but since we became friends, I never imagined a wedding without her as my maid of honor. It was a huge blow to me to realize she'd just be a bridesmaid. It's not that big of a deal, and I'm probably building it up in my head, but it was really important to me, and now it won't go the way I thought it would. Jake has been great, and very emotionally supportive, which means the world to me and reminds me I'm marrying a wonderful man who really gets me. It's silly, but he makes sure to validate my feelings about the maid of honor thing. My cousin, who is also very close to me, stepped up to take her place, but it's not the same. It just isn't the same. I felt bad about it for a long time, and it still feels sad, but I'll get over it by the time the wedding rolls around. Hopefully I'll have a lot to distract me by then. Thinking back, I realize how much Kate and I have been through together. We've known each other since we were kids, and we've shared so many important moments in our lives. From sleepovers and shared secrets to helping each other through heartbreaks and celebrating each other's successes, our friendship has been a constant. It's hard to imagine such a significant milestone in my life without her by my side in the way I always envisioned. But life is about change and adaptation, and I know that our friendship will remain strong even if the roles we play in each other's lives evolve. Kate stepping down as maid of honor made me reflect on how much we've both grown and changed. We're not the same people we were in high school, and our lives have taken different paths. But our bond remains strong, and I'm grateful for her presence in my life, no matter what role she plays. Her decision to focus on her own well-being is a testament to her growth, and I support her completely, even if it means adjusting my expectations for the wedding. As the wedding approaches, I find myself getting more and more excited about the future. Jake has been my rock through all of this, and I can't wait to start our life together as husband and wife. We've been planning every detail of the wedding, and it's shaping up to be everything I've ever dreamed of. Despite the changes and challenges, I'm confident that it will be a beautiful day filled with love and joy. Kate's journey has also inspired me to take better care of my own mental health. Seeing her take steps to heal and grow has made me realize the importance of self-care and seeking help when needed. I've started practicing mindfulness and have been more conscious of my emotional well-being. It's been a positive change, and I feel more balanced and at peace. I know that the wedding will be just the beginning of a new chapter for both Jake and me, as well as for Kate. Life is unpredictable, and while we can't always control what happens, we can control how we respond and support each other through it all. I'm grateful for the love and support of my friends and family, and I'm looking forward to the future with hope and excitement. In the meantime, I'm focusing on the positive aspects of the upcoming wedding and the happiness that awaits. I'm cherishing every moment of the planning process and looking forward to celebrating with the people I love. Despite the ups and downs, I know that this is a special time in my life, and I'm determined to make the most of it. Managing all the details for our upcoming wedding has kept me incredibly busy, which has been a blessing in disguise, providing a welcome distraction from the complexities surrounding Kate. Jake and I have both been putting in extra hours at work to ensure our finances are in order, allowing us to enjoy a well-deserved break just before our big day. Despite the occasional stress that comes with wedding planning, overall, things have been going smoothly. Aside from a brief hiccup with Kate, my maid of honor, everything has been progressing beautifully, and Jake and I are eagerly looking forward to our wedding day. Update: I am absolutely thrilled to announce that Jake and I are now married. Last week, surrounded by our loved ones, we exchanged vows and celebrated the beginning of our new life together. It was an enchanting ceremony, filled with love, laughter, and unforgettable moments. The wedding was everything I had dreamed of and more, and the joy of that day continues to resonate with us. As for Kate, she remains an important part of my life, despite not ending up as my maid of honor as many had anticipated. While I admit I was initially disappointed, our friendship has only grown stronger. We continue to stay in touch daily, supporting each other through life's ups and downs. Kate has been focusing on her personal growth and well-being, exploring new interests such as meditation, therapy sessions, and even taking improv classes. It has been inspiring to witness her journey of self-discovery and see her embrace these new passions with enthusiasm. She has also taken up painting as a hobby, despite her own admission that she may not be very skilled at it. Regardless of her proficiency, the creative outlet seems to bring her a sense of peace and fulfillment. On the topic of her mental well-being, I'm delighted to share that Kate has made significant strides since her breakup. She no longer dwells on past relationships, including her ex-boyfriend Travis, which has been a positive development for her overall happiness. Her parents, too, have noticed the positive changes in her and are thrilled to see her focusing on her own happiness and growth. Looking ahead, Jake and I are eagerly anticipating our honeymoon in the Bahamas, a destination we've been dreaming of for months. After the whirlwind of wedding planning and festivities, we are excited to relax on the beautiful beaches, soak up the sun, and savor the quiet moments together. It will be a well-deserved escape, and a chance for us to reflect on the wonderful journey that has brought us to this point. In a touching gesture of friendship, Kate surprised us by generously covering the cost of our hotel stay as a wedding gift. Her gesture not only touched our hearts but also exemplified her genuine care and desire to make amends for stepping down as my maid of honor. It was a gesture that I deeply appreciated and one that reaffirmed the strength and depth of our friendship. Reflecting on our friendship and the journey we have shared, I have come to realize that true friendship is about supporting each other's growth and happiness, even when paths diverge or expectations change. Kate and I have both matured over the years, and our friendship has evolved into a bond built on mutual respect and genuine affection. As we embark on this new chapter of married life, I am grateful for the love and support of friends like Kate, who continue to enrich my life in unexpected and meaningful ways.